Yeah, yeah, yeah. Same. I did blow through all of. Well, no, I think I had 100 left after putting them all on, but I was like, I've only got 100 left. So I'm gonna get a couple more now because I did just. I think I applied all of them. Did I apply all of them? I might have done. No, I definitely did. I definitely did Barriss and Luke. Yeah, so I've got one on Luke, one on IG-90, one on Yoda and Chewie, one on Ventress, and one on Barriss, and two on Vader. I did all of them. I just thought, fuck it. Yep, all of them. Yeah, I just went big dick swinging. I was like, yep, why not? Well, ho, 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 ladies and gentlemen of the tribe, and welcome back to another episode of Tribe Talks. We are here. We're loud. We're proud. We are, I don't know, slightly tired. But otherwise, furiously happy about life, the universe, and everything. How you doing, Carthy? You okay today, buddy?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Doing well. Just enjoying
Good.
that very slow first bit of the era off week where it's just like,
Yeah.
what am I doing?
Mm.
Oh, nothing. Cool. All right, back at it then.
Yep.
I'm
Well,
very happy with that life.
we get to go back to that era of Colosseum where it's like, oh yeah, we do no damage. Okay. And then we're going to the we cleared the wave. Cool, lost a unit. This feels good. Cleared another wave, lost a unit.
Yeah,
This feels great.
The unfortunate part about it is that, of course, the Saw and POW that we get, we don't have a leader for, right? And
Yeah,
so it's
a bit
like,
weird.
This sucks. And then on top of that, the summon units, there's just their stat on top of whatever they get is very low,
Yeah.
and so they don't really do a heck of a lot. And so it's just like,
I still don't know
the boss
why
decides
they...
to focus the marquee that you're actually have access to, it goes right to hell.
Oh my god, yeah, because like Claire is the damage dealer in that squad anyway, and if they just focus Claire, it's just such a shit run. It's like, great, the Jotaz just threw a rock at my Claire and just instantly killed her. I might as well just back out this run.
Yeah. Well, that was the funny part of my alt. Like, my previous high score, I think, was like 18%. And I did a run today, and I got just under 40%.
Nice.
Because he boot kicked and threw rocks at Saw and the other one, and then didn't crit when he finally boot kicked Clea. And so she had like a sliver of health left and was able to just get out those couple extra basics. And it's like, I'm like, this is the part of it of Coliseum that really annoys me, where it's like, I was in 7th place yesterday, not because, well, partly because on my main account, because everybody in the top 7 places all have era level 80s. But the other part of like the score was so
in the
massively
top 7
different.
places.
Yeah,
The
all of us
top
have 80.
7 of your shard is like
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
dick whales. Like,
Yep.
those bowls are just full of whale semen.
Yep.
All right. Because I think I've got like my top 2 are like 80 and 72 or something like that. So
Yeah.
they're pretty whaley, but 7 of them, that's gross.
Yeah. So it's like the lucky part is that like guy in number 8 is like, I think went to air level 55. So unless he decides to start whaling, it should be fine. But it's just like, it sucks because like you're on RNG of like who does the boss focus and what's going on and everything else on to how successful you're running. And even though like my high water mark was enough to be like in 3rd place, since it doesn't, your high water mark no longer reflects your actual rank on the leaderboard every day. That it
You got to do it every day.
You got to do it every day and hope that you can get good RNG again. And I'm like, I am annoyed. Like I got the rewards, cool, but I'll be happier by the time we get to the next marquee because it'll be a little bit better. I remember the Luke sucking in the same capacity, so I'll get through it. But it's just it does suck. It's like I could in theory be at risk of being out to the top 10 just because I don't have good RNG.
Yeah, and because you have a very whale centric shard. Because
there's that too.
Like my main account. I don't get top 10, but I don't give a shit about staying in top 10. I'm quite happy to be in the top 30. And it sits there quite comfortably. Like, granted, I do have a 7-star Claire, but I haven't put anything towards error level outside of the first day. I spent 300 crystals getting error leveling currency. That's all I've put into the leveling system, and I can stay. Usually I hover like 20, 25, and that gets me 500. And I'm like, okay, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, honestly, my alt could have probably stayed. I think I went to I went to 45 on the alt, and I'm pretty sure I would have probably needed to be somewhere at a minimum of 35 to stay in the top 10. But I mean, it's not 45 was just more comfortable. If I was going to spend to stay there, I might as well spend the extra to stay there.
That's fair.
But it's not very competitive beyond that. Then we got like 2 people that are like above like level 55 or 70. And then everything else is just like, everyone's like, just like the spenders and just enough to stay up there. And then everything else is a waste of our time. So
yeah. My alt account one, I'm just looking through it now. That's like the top 3 are like error level 50. So it's not a particularly like whaley chat, but whaley shard, but even 10th is level 25 but 7-star. But my alt account, it's got like a 4-star Claire, and I've done nothing for error leveling on that. And I think I'm like right now I'm 66, but I'll be like 150. I'll get 100 a day on the alt account, and I'm okay with 100 a day on the alt account. I'm not.
What are you gonna do with a relic 10 every 2 weeks? Like,
well, to be fair, it would go towards lightspeed tokens on that account.
Oh yeah,
like,
for
fuck
sure.
the server motors.
No, for
There's
sure.
just no point.
It's one of those things though where it's like everyone's like, but I'm missing error currency. I'm like, what are you gonna do with it? Like it's not until we get a much more distinctive idea of how often they want to increase relic levels. There's just not a reason to chase after it unless you either A, are gonna just cool with setting cash on fire, or B, there's nothing else to like. There's no reason to have relic 10s, like unless they put a reason in the game to have them.
Yeah,
I
get it. To me, the perspective is it's just kind of another fucking log on the fire that CG seems to be burning at the moment. It's not that it's not really that the loss of that error currency really matters. It's just the fact that it's just another thing, man. It's another thing where they're like, by the way, give us money. It's like, what? Like, I would have been totally fine if these feats would have been there. Let's be real. Who gives a shit if you miss out on 10 error currency for the first tier, right? But similarly, if CG would have kept this system in and just gave 40 per tier, it's not going to fucking change the world and people would feel a lot better about it. It's like...
that I agree. They're so conservative with it, and I don't understand why at all, because it's like there's just they put no real motivation behind getting it. Like
Yeah.
I get there, the only thing right now that they've required so far at Relic 10, of course, has been Maul for the
Mhm.
era challenge, and that should be a running trend moving
Yeah.
forward. Is that
I think
Cassie will be Relic 10
we can assume that.
and
Yeah.
yeah, and that well, whatever. I mean, if you're to the point where you got a 7-star one, like you're probably to the point where Relic 10 means something to you anyways.
Yeah.
Because what else are you gonna do with it? I mean, that was the funny part with the era of the anniversary was like, what do you do with a 7-star Maul if you don't have Star Killer and Stranger and
Yeah.
and all these and EP Mara and all these important mechanics that go into play.
It's so true because my alt account got the 4-star unlock from all, and granted, I'm not really going to use a 4-star, but I also I've only just unlocked Starkiller. That account doesn't have Stranger. It wasn't even 4 million GP when I got Maul. So
Yeah.
it's like, where do I put him? I've got a Gear 12 Seer. I don't have Malakos. So it's like, yeah, and like I said, I'm not going to use a 4-star character anyway. And he's like Gear 10 because I couldn't error level him any further. So but it's kind of weird to have that unit. He's got no synergy. No, his purpose was literally it get me access to tier 3 of the error battle, and I managed to get myself 2 lightspeed tokens for free. That was the whole.
Yeah.
That was the whole benefit, really, of getting that unit unlocked. And don't get me wrong, on that account, those lightspeed tokens were super nice. Like that was cool. I'm doing that again this era, trying to push for the 5-star, but it's quite hard because I just don't have a whole lot of crystal income.
Yeah, if you're 100% free to play, that becomes a real big challenge on just. Hey,
So
by
much
the way-
easier if you just buy the episode pass. Like those 20 extra shards goes a long way to getting you to 5 stars on these marquees.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm
gonna
like
be a
20
little
shards
threshold.
short of Claire, I think. Yeah. No, I'm 14 shards short of getting Claire to 5 stars. But of course, we've got Vel dropping in 2 days. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's painful. I had really
Well,
bad
and
RNG on the packs.
Yeah. I even got to the point now, especially since they're not dusting the Zerix. I was like, there is 0 point period whatsoever to rush the 7-star on day 1.
Nope.
Because when I was doing it last era, I was getting that extra 100 shards day of for the Zerix materials.
Yeah.
And there's no point now, but even if they had dusted them, I don't think I would be paying that extra price because it doesn't seem worth the additional crystal economy. It doesn't seem worth the additional money in general
It's definitely not.
maybe get, maybe not even fall outside the top 10. So I was like, I don't think it's going to matter on that front. So I'm not too fussed about it.
Personally, I'm not going to go for the 7-star unlock on the legendary unit day 1 anymore. I did it I did it the first time round because it was a case of as a content creator, I wanted to do the day 1 unlock, right? I wanted to be there to be like, hey guys, let's go watch the event. But the event was incredibly lackluster, I'll be honest. They only it felt like all the effort was on that final tier, and it still wasn't exactly, it didn't feel like a great Star Wars moment or anything like that. It was just like, okay, it's just a battle. And that's fine if that's how it's going to be. But also, because we did the 5-star unlock like 2 weeks previously or a month previously, nobody gave a shit anymore. They were like, okay, we've seen the legendary event, even though it was 2 extra tiers that people hadn't seen. People didn't care. Like, it's not that they didn't care. People still showed up to the unlock of the live stream, and that's fine and everything. But like the first unlock, I had like 600-700 concurrent viewers on my stream, which is like 2 or 3 times higher than a Friday night GAC stream. So that felt worthwhile. But doing the second round of unlocks, it was just like a normal stream. So I was just like, I'm not gonna break my wallet.
But a lot of people had that bitter taste in their mouth too after the first one of like, well, that's it. That's all we're getting is repurposed assets for the first 3 tiers. And that's all we're getting for this. Like it just for the price tag, it's pretty ludicrous that people were expecting more. And that's kind of, I get the idea. I felt kind of similar to that with the Hondo event. Was just I get the joke, but at the same time, it's like Can we at least break out the art department a little bit? Like for Galactic Legends, like can we get some cool stuff?
Yeah.
On
No,
what
I
they're
feel
doing?
that. I genuinely feel this new structure that they've got in place for Era Systems has worn them really thin in terms
Yeah.
of capacity for work. I think they're on such a tight ship now that it feels like it's bleeding through into the events they're making. Like,
Well, yeah, I mean, look at
they don't have the time to make them.
Smuggler's Run Tier 3. Look at the
Yep.
era battles for this era.
Mhm.
You know, it's just like you guys are trying to put that. You're not even meeting the deadlines for getting this stuff out. Now, granted, they didn't give us a hard deadline for Smuggler's Run 3, and it
No.
does appear that it's finally going to arise.
Mhm.
It should go live in the off week of Vel, so not this week, but the following week is when it
Yeah.
should go live. But I mean, even outside of that, you know, they're just running really hard on it, and I totally get that where they're at, but you know, it's like a lot of people have an expectation for some of these events, and it's just like they're not even like really scratching the itch on those either. It's just like I don't know. It'll probably feel different with the next one because the repurposing of assets for the Cassian event will
Yeah.
probably feel much more uniform because it's going to be a theme. But the Era of the Anniversary definitely just felt like everything was patched together because, you know, they didn't really have another choice. You know, what else
Yeah.
are we going to do? We don't have a consistent theme. We don't have anything else going with it. So just reuse and push out the door. I mean, luckily the final tier for Maul was unique and interesting and actually took a little strategy to
Yeah.
finish.
It was kind of
But
cool. It
it-
didn't hold your hand necessarily, did it? It
No,
gave you a hint.
it just it just sucks that it's like I can almost guarantee you that the unlock will be easier in the game than
Yeah.
it was in the Era system because you can mod the character and you can
Exactly. And
do other things.
I definitely like with the error system in place, we were running with R2 units, right? And I guarantee
Yeah.
it's going to be R5 minimum when it comes back. So you're already.
I would almost say R7. I would
Yeah,
say the event would be
the-
R7.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. The reason I say R5 is because of the tier it's in. Everything else is R5. You know, well, not everything else. R5 is the highest. So tier 4 has got Mace, which was R5, Jar Jar, which was R5, Afra, which is R5, Grand Inquisitor R5, Starkiller R5, and then it's got like old ones like Jedi Knight Revan, Darth Revan, Chewie, which were pre-relic levels. So the tier it's in the journey guide is all R5. That's why I'm saying it. I wouldn't be surprised if it creeps higher, obviously, right? But
I would
the-
almost bank on it.
yeah, but the thing is the event was originally tuned for Relic 2. And like you said, no mods, Relic 2. If we go in with Relic 5 as a minimum requirement or R7 or whatever they push it up to, I feel like it's going to feel like a piece of piss. Like I think people are going to
I
face
just think
roll it.
modding in general will make that
Yeah.
event a joke, you know, which is fine. You know, I don't think it should be ball achingly hard, especially if you're going to have to wait
Yeah.
6 months for it to return,
Well,
which we
who
still
knows?
don't have an idea when that's going to be. And so it's like, you know, I'm just kind of the mindset. I'm like, I don't understand why they want to make it harder and make you wait forever. Like, if you want to make it harder, fine, bring it back in 3 months. But like, if you want to make it harder and make you wait 6 to 9 months for the return of the character, it's like, what are we doing? Like,
Yeah.
what's the point? Just trying to penalize you so aggressively that it's like, well, if I don't get it on the first go, I mean, look at the response from most of the content creators on the cost of the Era system.
Yeah. Everybody's packing it in, right?
Yeah, everyone's packing it in. Nobody was like, I'm going to double down because this is going to be great for me. They're like, hey, community, sorry in advance.
Yeah.
Not me. Not going to do it.
Yeah.
Which, you know, that's a completely normal response to have for that. It is pretty asinine what they're asking of us.
It's real telling when someone like Arnold, who's wailed on units for years, like before it was even cheap, you know, before it was even cheap, he's even just saying, you know what, I'm just buying the episode pass. I imagine he's probably getting them to 5 stars because 5 stars makes sense. Maybe he's getting them to 7 stars. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like, it's really telling when the biggest content creator is like, no. And then Xerath is like, nope, I'm still doing it because I don't know, I'm fucking weird, I guess. I don't know if Nooch is doing it. Don't know if I think Eggnods is. And apart from that, I'm not sure who else might be whaling on units these days. Calvin is one free to play and hasn't really been doing content since his kid came around. So it's a weird space.
I feel so neglected as a content creator in this conversation.
Bro, you got to make content to get that tag, dude.
Every Sunday I make content. Every Sunday.
Every Sunday I come to chew the ears off the tribe.
I just don't have my own YouTube channel because I don't want to pull away from the Scribe tribe, you know. I'm
you don't want to pull out?
That.
I got you. Yeah.
I'm here to support it. I'm not here to take
Carthrick
away
never pulls out of the tribe. Yeah. You heard it here first, guys. So yeah, it's a funny old world. I don't know if CG was trying to incentivize this towards, try to steer it back towards make more money and hope people still spend it. But it feels like what they've done is since the release of, what was it, Gungans or the Poncho Bros, when we first had the special marquee structure come in, which was which they probably saw a good uplift in people whaling on units. I don't know why they're like stepping that back a little bit. They're pulling it back a little bit and being like, you need to do the same thing, but spend more money in order to get the same shit you used to do. And also there's this error leveling crap that nobody particularly likes, right? It feels like they've probably made a net gain because I've seen the amount of people that are whaling error levels, right? And that's not cheap.
Yeah.
And I think that's offsetting the number of people that are whaling on shards alone. So it's like, I think they're still ahead, but I feel like they are slowly eroding the goodwill they have with the community. And it's probably, if they don't change things in the next 6 months, I think it's going to get worse and worse. And that's the problem, right? I'm a little bit concerned about how the community sentiment is going to develop going forward. Maybe it will change. Maybe in 6 months, everybody will forget because they lost all the old game players and they're getting in new players who've never known different. I don't know.
Yeah, it is interesting that I mean, clearly they are trying to cater to the newer spenders in this game. Because I mean, and that is where they do have to focus when you're looking at a game with this kind of life cycle, is the average player stays somewhere between 4 to 5 years and then they move on, and most of your, and then from there, and that's after they make it past the 80% retention loss within the first 30 days of starting the account, and so it's like, yeah, you have these issues of, how do they, or what's their objective? I guess that's for me. That's what drives me the most batty is I wish I knew from their side of the coin of like what they're looking at, what they're trying to achieve, what their goals are. And then that might help what we're seeing make sense. But unfortunately, we're just stuck in the dark on it and going like, well, maybe they're doing this. Maybe they're trying that. Or, maybe they just want to see if they can make the sky purple. Like, I don't know. It's just we're at a junction where nothing really makes a good amount of sense.
I mean, I see a lot of variation and broad views from the community just through my comment section on various YouTube videos that I do, right? So, I feel like I get a sense of how the community's feeling. There's a lot of negativity going on right now, obviously, but there always is. Yeah. But what I'm seeing, what I'm seeing more and more often at the moment is a lot of people seem to think that recent buyout from EA, which hasn't gone through yet, is indicative of CG trying to milk money before closing the doors and bolting with the profits, as it were.
I doubt it.
Yeah, so do I. I have my doubts personally.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Because I mean, like the buyout hasn't happened yet. It's not happening for another year. Two, I have to feel like this is the strongest argument for me, is like if CG were just trying to milk us, I don't think they would be doing stuff like, let's make a whole brand new game mode. Let's make 4 new
No.
bosses. Let's
Yeah.
design an entire new system. Like, I don't feel like
No,
that's
they-
what somebody that's going into Runoff is doing.
It's a
you know.
10-year-old game that needs to reinvent the starting of a new account experience, right? Like that is where they're stuck. This game will die if they don't keep getting new players. Like it is 100% how it's going to go, because the older players eventually give up the ghost, quit spending, quit the game or whatever else, and they move along. And as they retire, you got to bring in fresh bodies to keep the wheel turning. And so, you know, they have to find a way to reinvent that. And with the game that as old as it is and the size of that it is very daunting for a new player to go, how do I even do this cool thing without just either A, buying an already existing account, or B, you know, just wailing my ass off. And
a lot of new players wouldn't, like, their first thought isn't, I'll buy an account. They probably don't even think that's a thing, right? And let's be clear, that is against terms of service, guys. We're not saying go ahead and buy a new account, because you could get banned. And you might even just, like, there are bad actors out there that will just be like, I'm just going to change the password. You've lost the account. Good luck.
Scam, yeah. It's not a great move, but
it happens. It happens.
Yeah. It's in theory possible, but we don't recommend it, mostly because it goes against TOS. But outside of that, but yeah, it's just they do have to reinvent that, and I think the era system is kind of their way at achieving this. But you know, it's like what we've talked about multiple times over this entire change, is that we are seeing the fledgling steps of a brand new game mode, and we're unfortunately going through the growing pains of infant to toddler, right? Like we got dropped something that is completely useless and doesn't really have anything for us to do, because as end game players, we have a lot of things we can do with new marquees right at the rips. The era system is a hindrance to how we used to engage with that content. And now it's like, you know, like we talked about this last night. It's like, there's nothing to get hyped over. It's like, I've got 10 weeks before I can play with a single one of these characters outside of Coliseum. So like, who cares? It's just wait 2 weeks, spend the money, play the marquee event for a week on auto, because now we can sim it. Thank Christ.
That is definitely the best quality of life thing they've done in a long time. And that's probably because they haven't done any quality of life things in a long time.
Oh, dude,
that sim button is lovely.
I'm starting to get a small list of things from that I want to forward on to Meathead later this week. But you know, it's like one thing I want to have them do, especially with the change of Datacrons. I'm like, can we change out one of the nodes on Sector 1 to just a data cache node?
Oh, dude, please, yes, absolutely.
Can we quit with Datacrons and data cache only on one node? Or for the love of God, please allow data cache to drop on every node and just change the quantity.
How nice would that
so
be?
When I'm farming Sector 4, listen, when you're trying to power through the literal shit ton of Datacrons in one farming session now, it's like, I only need 15 Datacrons. I finished that in like, you know, 7 or 8 refreshes. And now I just have more than I know what to do with. And the only net positive is that, you know, is Datacron at level 0 does dust for some data cache. But like, can we just...
No, it doesn't. 0 only gives you 5 of the tier 1.
Oh,
I checked earlier today.
I apologize.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
yeah, because I was hoping that was. I was like, because this time round, I have been farming Sector 1 bonus node for cash. I don't get me wrong. I go into the store. I use my shard shop currency to get the data cache. But when you, like you said, you've got 7 FDCs and 1 month to one run.
You want to know something?
What?
You want to know something? Up through the 100s, it's more effective to refresh the store than it is to farm on the node.
Dude, I already do the refreshes. That's the thing.
I mean, like through the 100s. Like on top, like all the way till you hit 200 in the store. Like I'm talking about like in the Datacron store, not the
Yeah. When you use your shard shop currency to get data
Yeah.
cache, basically. Yeah.
Because basically the 12 sims, which is either 100 or 200, depending on how far up on the refreshes you're at.
Yeah.
You get about 1 million, which is what you get with what you get 1.25 million every refresh. Like it's the refreshing the store is the cheapest way, as long as you have an ample supply of shard shop currency to get data cache. Which I'm just
Without
like staring at CG. I'm like, okay, listen, I don't know how dumb I mean, clearly we're not smart because people do buy the packs and everything else that comes with it. But like the shard shop, not the shard shop, the data cache pack that for 550, you are better off 9 times out of 10 buying the 3 million for 600 crystals than you are ever buying that pack. Like I don't know why they haven't adjusted. They need to adjust some of the things with how much they're doing.
I think they're relying on ignorance and people just being inefficient with how they spend their crystals.
Yeah, I agree. I think people aren't paying attention to that, but they should adjust the cost per crystals. They should adjust the pack because the pack that they have in the store, it needs to have a better baseline. Like if I can buy 3 million for 600 crystals and you want me to buy this pack for 550 crystals, but it has anywhere between 1.25 up to 6 million, I'm getting screwed more often than I'm winning. And so it's like, why would I be buying them from the pack when the store has a guaranteed middle point for the same price?
Yeah.
And so I don't know. It's just one of those things where I'm like, that needs to be adjusted, especially if they're going to have us doing, 15 Datacrons in one conquest. We have no other choice but to just go balls to the walls. They need to make the accessibility, especially with FDCs. I don't mind the level 15 ones because they're fun, but
they're
the
really
cost
good, to
is
be
atrocious, man.
Yeah.
Like the
30
it's
million,
just so bad.
Or what is it, like 29.3 million cash? It's kind of absurd.
29.3, but there's 2 level 15s, and then there's 4. Then there's 5 level 9s, and the level 9s actually cost more than a normal level 9 by 3 million. And so it's like,
was it 10 million, 9 million to get a level 9?
10 million approximate to get a level 9 of the other ones. But I mean, like, I guess that we can get in that conversation about FDCs and which ones to go after kind of from this jumping point. But, it's like for a lot of people, people are like, well, which one should I be getting? Which ones are going to be the best ones to get? And I'm like, what do you have access to? Because like, if you have Star Killer, great. But the Star Killer level 9 is about as far as I would push it, because beyond that, if you don't have Stranger or Maul, why are you bothering? There's no point to go any further.
Yeah. I mean, the stats are quite nice. Having, like, after you got Star Killer, the next 2 levels gives you 35% crit damage and 50% armor pen. I would say that's still worth, on the data, if you've got Star Killer, it's worth getting those extra stats, I think, on the level 10 and level 11. But again, I wouldn't go to level 14. That just gives you tenacity and crit avoidance and a Stranger modifier that doesn't do anything for your roster, right?
If you don't have a Stranger.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
The only reason I would say stop at level 9 is because the investment cost
it is
to go
pricey
on those 2 is almost as much, literally almost as much as taking one of the level 9 FDCs all the way up. Not the same for mats, but data cache cost.
Yeah,
it's like 6 million or so, or like 5 million. It's like, okay, well, you're already halfway through a level 9. I'm like, do you really need the stats on a Star Killer team? Because Star Killer doesn't really need an overpowered Kron to be ridiculous.
No, he's already pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't know. So it's like, for me, then it's just like you start going through the stat blocks of like who has usable stats, who has usable level 3, 6s, and 9s that you can kind of function without the investment in the Era team, and then just go from there. I do like the stats in quite a few of these Kron sets, but if you don't have the characters, it's like, why chase in the first place?
How many of the FDCs have you taken up, and which ones have you done?
All of them.
How many have you done? Yes, I have.
It is the end of week 1. That was a reasonable. Well, to be fair, once they were announced that there was going to be 7 of them, I've been farming data cache in the Datacron store since that announcement.
Right.
So I had the better part of like when we were able to actually farm them, I had the better part of like 70 million data cache stored up already and ready to go.
So enough for 2 and a bit.
Yeah. Well, I did all the level
2 to 15s
first.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
okay.
Because I don't I knew I'd get the level 15s, but I like the stat, like just the pure stat blocks that come with the other ones.
Yeah.
So it's like it's really hard to ignore them just for the sake of like, well, I don't like this part. This is clearly the most overpowered thing, and I'm like, yeah, but every time we have something that's massively overpowered, it has the dumbest cheese that you can use on it to blow it up on defense. So that just goes to offensive anyways. And I'm like, and if I'm using Maul Starkiller on offense, any Datacron's going to do a lot of work, and then I'll need this exact Datacron to counter a couple of other teams. So I was like, I wasn't too really fussed about it. I rather prioritize the ones that were cheaper and had just the blanket stats. I mean, like I like the Luke one a lot because I think it's going to be fun for.
It's got great stats. Those are
115% defense, 50% offense, armor pen. Which is those aren't bad. The health, crit avoidance, and defense on the Wookiees cron. You know who would love that? Your girl Ray. I mean, just on a stat block, she would like a lot of those things. Watch Starkiller lose to that because of all the crit avoidance, but
70% crit avoid with a bunch of health and some additional defense. That's actually a really nice stat block for Ray.
Yeah, but then like the Barris cron, level 3 is all you really need out of it, and you've got a really annoying cron again.
Yeah, Ninth Sister.
that level 3 is it's a huge one for the team in general. Just slap it on that one. Take your Reva, Grand Inquisitor, Seventh Sister, Second Sister, Ninth Sister. Throw this cron behind them. Have a good day. It's gonna be funny. They're gonna do a lot more things than you were anticipating. The one for IG-90. If you have BT1 and 000, you've got the majority of what you need in that cron. The IG-90 part is kind of irrelevant. Unfortunately, the Asajj cron, I feel like there's a lot of this like it's really useful and really shitty all at the same time because Asajj she's so pivotal to the team being functionally good. Yeah. That without her, I feel like it's unfortunate to try to run it without her. But even then, I mean, 115% defense, 80% offense, 40% potency. Yeah, I mean, even in a bounty hunter team with Fennec and Forlom available, you can still do some good stuff with it. It's the part where that's the part I don't like about the Darth Vader and Maul crons, because the Darth Vader cron, the first 3 tiers are useless for most people. Yeah, the stats are great. Overall,
stats are great, but Royal Guard is just really lackluster.
Yeah, what are you gonna do with him? Tarkin, what are you gonna do with him? Emperor Palpatine that can't be revived. Cool. That's
he's not gonna kill anything.
Well, yeah, but that's like it's a very rare problem because EP Mara is kind of like and Starkiller is basically what a lot of people run while they're waiting for the stranger to come in. And like, okay, well, very, very, very rarely, unless it's versus like Ray specifically, am I worried about someone reviving.
You know what I would have liked for Palpatine instead of that, and I don't feel like it would have been crazy broken, is if you just go Emperor Palpatine starts the battle with stealth for 2 turns. I would prefer that over enemies can't be revived by Palps. If he kills them, they can't be revived. Because that would at least give it a little bit more strategy, and you can't just focus down Palpatine at the start and then kill Vader, right? Because Vader needs Palpatine to be alive. So if they just had him, either have him stealthed, or Palpatine can't be targeted for 2 turns, or he's got like locked damage immunity for 2 turns. Anything like that just protects him in the opener, I would have much preferred over enemies defeated by him can't be revived.
Yeah, I would prefer even if like Mara Jade was in there and was like, while Mara Jade is active and Darth Vader duels end, or is an ally, then Emperor Palpatine stealths or what, or can't be targeted during that time, then that would be fine, because it's unfortunately one of those things where it's not that hard to make that team fall apart, because you can just get rid of Palpatine, and then from there it's really slows down. I want to say that Vader has doesn't Vader have a mechanic to protect him? I want to say he does. No, I cannot recall what it is.
I don't think so. I mean, but
I
then
thought
again,
he gave him hatred.
That might be one of his GAC Omicrons. Does he pass hatred to his allies? I'm not sure.
At the start of the battle, if there are no Galactic Legends and Emperor Palpatine is in the Allied slot, all Empire allies gain hatred until they are defeated, which can't be copied, dispelled. So it is his GAC Omicron on his unique, but it's only when you're not fighting GL. So granted, it can be kind of like the the Qui-Gon on me, where it's just like, I'll just use a GL and deactivate it.
But again, I don't think, I feel like that's going to be an offense team anyway. I want to see if I can just cheese Ahsoka Tano teams with it. I want to cheese Glat with it. That's what I want to do. But again, I won't be using Royal Guard. I'll be throwing in Piet in there for stacking up on Emperor's Trap, because like Ahsoka has got a 100% counter chance. If Vader's taking a turn, Ahsoka's going to counter him. He's going to get a bonus turn, and he's just going to take infinite bonus turns versus Glat, as long as he's hitting her, and then build up all the stacks of Emperor's Protection, Emperor's Trap, and eventually probably kill the whole team without them taking too many turns. That's what I'm hoping to do, but I'm a little bit concerned if Ezra does this thing where, he passes turns, calls assists, and kills the whole squad before you can do anything.
Well, in theory, you're just gonna really need to push the team being fast, which is gonna be really hard because Glat adds speed, and it's not that hard to make Ezra quick. And
well, Ezra's very quick. I mean, Piet's got pretty good base speed, and he'll gain turn meter, right, when you hit enemies. Well, when his allies get hit, right? I think that's what happens.
Yeah.
But again, like, Ezra can make things get out of hand really fast, which is why, again, I wanted them to have some sort of way of protecting Palpatine for the first two turns. I also was thinking of theory crafting there with like Stap to put out Provoked, so that the entire enemy team is constantly counterattacking, and that would also cause Vader to get into a situation of infinite bonus turns, right? But you break some synergy there. It's all about just surviving until you can get Vader to take a turn, the first turn, and then it's all good from there.
Yeah, you basically just need. Well, no, you just need to take your first turn, right?
Yeah, I mean, if the enemy attacks out of turn and they haven't like stunned Vader, then that should be the immediate bonus turn for Vader, right? If you can get to that point.
You just need to get one attack out onto Ahsoka, and then she'll counterattack.
So how about we just drop one unit, throw in Han Solo, shoot Glat, she'll counterattack, Vader will take a turn, and then it's over. There we go. That's the team.
Well, yeah. I think the only breaks the clause that's already broken by having a GL present or on the enemy board anyway. So
yeah, and I don't think that matters.
I think what I'm going to end up doing with that team is run both Vaders in it.
Yeah.
Just because it gives you a lot of turn meter, but Vader having the ability block on the basic is just going to be very powerful to like slowing down certain teams. That, and then the big old mollywop on top of it. Actually, for a brief moment there, I was like, what would be really cool is to do the Vader attacker cron, and then have Piet mark Vader.
Yeah,
and then just let them wail on him, and all he is a pseudo tank for the team.
Yeah.
But I feel like the level 15 is just going to be way too powerful to ignore for a cheese. But outside of that, I think, Piet and Thrawn, or Piet and Vader, are going to be probably the two that I run with the team in 5v5.
Yeah. I'm totally going to test that Han Solo in the team with Piet. So it'll be Palps, Mara Jade, Vader, Piet, Han Solo versus Glatt. I feel like that works just straight out. I mean, it depends. Maybe the Glatt team just stalls out Vader. Maybe it doesn't matter how much offense you stack on him with Emperor's Trap. Maybe he just never kills Glatt, and that could be quite funny. But I'll try it out for funsies anyway, because it sounds like it'll be a laugh.
Yeah, it's riding that. Well, that you got to make sure that no one's getting passive turn meter on their team, which they shouldn't.
It wouldn't matter.
Theory,
because turn meter can't override bonus turns, can it?
No, but in theory, it's just going to depend on how it triggers. I guess that's the only thing I'm going to be curious about. Is because sometimes the bonus turn will lose out to
like TM overflow.
Not overflow per se. It's just it depends, because like if you have ever played with Great Mothers and TB, you'll notice how sometimes when she takes her bonus turn, she doesn't get her ability turn, and then she immediately takes another one because it
triggers all the time, doesn't it?
Yeah. And so it's like sometimes, depending on what's being triggered, the game just goes, "This is what you're going to get." Yeah. So I mean, I agree with you that should be how it works, but every once in a while, when you have these like constant bonus turn mechanics, I'm just like, sometimes the game just goes, meh.
No, fuck you.
Yeah. So
I will in first round of 5v5. I will be willing to be the guinea pig on that one just to see if it works, because it'll be kind of funny if it does. Yeah, I was just checking
to see. I was just looking to see if it can't be countered. Because some abilities have that, but it is unique. Does not have it. It just says that they can stun.
They can stun.
Han shoot first.
Oh right, yeah, but you just attack Glatt, right?
Well, yeah, I was just seeing if it could. I was just seeing if it couldn't be countered, because they do have some abilities that are like that, where the ability can't be countered. Like Dash's, I think Dash's AoE ability can't be countered.
Oh, is that right? I thought it was just because he put days on.
It might be that.
It might be. I don't know.
Now I've got to look.
We're going down the rabbit hole.
I gotta find him, because I've got too many relics of my rebels. He's not a rebel though. That's why I can't find him. He's a scoundrel.
Oh, silly little scoundrel.
YOLO. That's the problem, having too many high relic characters, like trying to dive through the
first world problems, eh?
I know.
Can Vader's attacks be missed? Has he got any unavoidable?
Which Vader? Oh,
Vader. I'm just thinking about Ezra right now, because Ezra, being that guy, could just dodge.
Yeah, so, no, that's why you can't counter him. The missiles cannot be evaded or resisted.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
That's why there are a couple that are like that, where they can't be countered. New Vader. I want to say his maybe his basic.
On OG Vader's basic couldn't be avoided by Jedi and Rebel or something like that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. This ability always crit. Speed down, prevented, lose accuracy, can't be of this. Okay. So in GAC, if Palpatine is the leader slot, fracture another enemy, target enemy and another random enemy until next turn or until Vader's defeated. Can't be copied, dispelled, or evaded. There we go. Okay, so at least his ground and pound move can't be evaded if you've got the GAC Omicron.
Specifically, I think they're talking about the fracture.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, they're talking specifically the fracture of the targeted enemy and the fracture of the random enemy cannot be evaded.
And unfortunately, the fracture as well doesn't stop you. It's not like stun, where stuns always land, right? Fractured enemies, I think, can still evade. I think.
Well, that's what the GA Ami says though.
Yeah.
Is that the fractures cannot be evaded, resisted, or dispelled.
Okay, so it's not just the attack then. Yeah.
So yeah, it's not the attack; it's the fracture specifically. But it
Shame.
might be the attack in both. I don't know.
Shame. Yeah, because I don't think the Datacron does anything for accuracy. So.
Really. But yeah, there's it for the FTCs with this next set. There's a lot of good just stat blocks that you can kind of pick up and play with the different characters. And if you have some of the overflow characters, like if you have Stormtrooper Luke and Princess Leia, you could probably find use for them in a Leia team because she's still gonna like the stats on the Kron. And you can still, or you could put them with another possible Rebel team. There are just different options, I guess, that you can run with. But I think everyone got really focused on the Darth Vader and Maul Krons being very powerful, but they're only very powerful if you have the team. Otherwise, I think the other ones are better. And I think the other ones are your better investments if you have parts of those teams available.
Yeah. Because there is still, like I said, there is still some stuff to go into. And apparently Bad Batch is also really fucking good, which is obviously not FTC, but it's just, part of the Armor and Instinct set, right?
You give them that 1.5 miles long of text and most teams become quite powerful.
Yeah. The more words is more better when it comes to Datacrons, right? That's the rule.
Yeah. It's just unfortunate with those, with that set is that Hunter is like, the set in 5s is like, do you break Bad Batch to get the Hunter Cron to work with Baylan, or do you keep the Bad Batch team together to go do some fun things? And I'm like, well, obviously you keep the team together, but it just sucks because there's so little Bad Batch overflow, because like the other Bad Batch team that you can make, let's be honest, it isn't doing anything.
Yeah, like, you're not going to be like...
They didn't give them anything worth a hoot.
Was it the Echo one that he gets like 25% turn meter or something like that?
Yeah, but it's only when Echo uses an ability on his turn.
Yeah, it's
other allies get the turn meter, which isn't bad because it does help you loop a little bit more. And it's specifically, it's only as basic, which is like the last thing you want to be using with Echo anyways.
Yeah.
Wreckers is even dumber because it's like whenever they lose taunt, whenever he loses taunt, they remove 50% turn meter from all enemies. Well, okay, but that can still get resisted. So, and then those are your two options. Everything else is the new Bad Batch. You have Omega Fugitive, Crosshair, and Hunter. It's just like, I feel like we could have thrown Hunters to the wind and got like something for tech, or
they didn't want us to have
Hunter. Yeah, like why not make both Bad Batch teams fun? Like, God forbid that's a thing.
Or like I know the new batch is kind of reliant on Hunter being in there. It's kind of important to have him, but could they have at least given, like, if they wanted Hunter to go potentially in with a Baylan team, couldn't they have given us like something else for an OG bat, like maybe an OG Omega one that would work as a replacement for Hunter? In case you want to split those teams, but it didn't work like that. It's kind of like if you've got Bad Batch, you can just get the Bad Batch, or if you want to go into, or maybe they're thinking it's for 3v3. I don't know, but again, because 3v3 is
3v3, Why are you dropping the two best characters from Baylan?
It just doesn't make sense, does it? It's just kind of crap.
No, none of it makes.
I don't know what group of people would be like, yeah, I've got Baylan, but I've only got Hunter invested out of the new Bad Batch, so I'm gonna it's just kind of weird. I don't know. I think more thought's needed there. I like what they're trying to do. They're trying to create more options for people.
But I mean, if you're gonna make a faction that has enough for multiple teams, can we at least do kind of like what we did with the opposite side of the coin for this Datacron set with the Imperial Remnant? It's like, hey, we have something for DTMG, we have something for Night Trooper, we have something for Dark Trooper, we have something for Moff Gideon. We have a lot of flexibility in where you can utilize these teams to where it's like, yeah, I think I'm going to need like 3 or 4 good dark side Krons in this one
Yeah.
because I want to have something for DTMG in 3. I want to have something for Moff Gideon on his own, depending on what he can solo this time. Granted, it won't be as good because it's heavily nerfed from the OP version we used to have.
Yeah.
But Dark Trooper can still use part of the Kron with Imperial Troopers, and then Night Trooper can still be used as a thing with either Night Sisters, or you can condense a Imperial Remnant team into Dark Trooper Moff Gideon with the Night Troopers. So there's just a lot more options on that one that I feel like, okay, I have a reason to do this, but like the Bad Batch one's like, okay, so basically I get Crosshair and then I'm done because I only use Crosshair in 3s and he's the best option in 5s. And that's it. It's just like, well, what are we doing? Like you neutered every other possible option. Like, could we at least got something fun with like Tech or OG Omega, where it's like we
Poor
activate...
OG Bad Batch. They just haven't had any love in years.
Can we get Omega's Omicron active in GAC just for kicks and giggles sake and make OG Bad Batch a monster?
I would like. I have that Omicron. I would take that.
She
claps. I run new Bad Batch with Omega, and I've got like new Wreckers Omi on there too, so it's like a double Omi team.
Yeah. Yep.
And that will full auto pretty much everything.
Yep.
Just like
literally as long as they can start taking turns, they will wreck.
It's really funny watching OG Omega just like hit for 500,000 damage. Just like plink assist, and it's just like 5 instances of 70k or whatever. It's like
it's tons of fun. Well, and I'll probably still run OG Omega with the new batch with the Kron and drop out Batcher, because Batcher doesn't do anything. Like, in comparison to what those characters add to the squad, OG Omega is just so much better for the team. And it's just like, I honest to God, Batcher felt like their way of like, we'll use you in the raid to counteract the mechanic we put in the raid. And then you're like, cool, how about outside the raid? Well, no. I guess. If you think about it really hard, But like, again, it's one of those things where like you put a mechanic on a character that nobody else can interact with. It doesn't really do anything. Like, if Bleed could trigger damage the way and give it target practice or whatever their stacking buff is, maybe we could have a thing. But like, usually the problem is in every game mode environment where you can actually like draw it out, they just kill them too fast. Once Crosshair gets going, Crosshair just deletes the board.
Yeah, the Bad Batch is a weird team where it feels like it is just survive until Crosshair can hit something, and then he's just going to go absolutely apeshit on everything. It's like, okay, yeah, he's not missing, and now he's lost all his shaken stacks, and he just starts assassinating people, and he'll
pop off really fast with that. It's the funny part to me with his Kron is like it's whenever he loses a stack, he loses one more.
Yeah. And
so it's like, it's not, he doesn't lose an additional one. It's a 1-for-1. So if he loses 3, he loses 3 additional.
Yeah.
Or that's how it should be playing out. And so it's like, he's going to come unglued very quickly and then just start wailing on things.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I haven't got a Crosshair one. I've got a Wrecker one, which might as well just not be there. And I refuse to spend crystals on those reroll mats right now.
Yeah, I'm not rerolling until I'm not re-rolling anything until Tuesday
Christmas
before lock-in.
Oh, okay, yeah, fine.
I'm gonna just work on trying to get try to get the Krons out, of course, but I'm just data crash poor as a mofo right now. And
well, it couldn't be anything to do with the 7 FTCs that you maxed out.
But that's how I figured it would be. Is like, I figured the FTCs were way more worth the investment than anything else, because with the current, we still have the attacker,
and they last for 3 months Krons. Still. So,
well, at least with this set, they last 2 seasons of 5v5.
Yep.
Which is the way more reason to invest into them. But we still have the entire 5v5 season with the previous old set of things with the attackers and supports and all that Kron. So it's like, I I already have my 30 OP crons plus their FDCs, and then I've got 7 more. We're going into 5v5, so there's only 11 teams. I've got 22 total, right? A minimum.
Yep.
And so it's like, man, what will I ever do with all of these crons and not enough teams to put them on? Like, who cares? Like,
Yeah.
I cashed out so quickly with the last set. I was like, I've got the 5 I need.
Yeah,
the rest, these are just stat blocks.
The last set was really underwhelming. I genuinely, I look at it now and I still don't know what it does. I remember the Hu Yang one.
That's the only one to remember. And the part with the Hugh Wang one that sucks is that it's his level 9 is half blocked out by being 5v5 restricted.
Yeah,
and then the kick in the crotch on the crotch on that one too is that he's active for 2 seasons of 3v3 and 1 season of 5v5. I'm like,
yeah.
Hey CG, please take notes when you're designing Datacron sets if you're going to keep this mantra in play. Please keep which one they're going to predominantly use in mind. And so either we're leaning heavily to 3v3 kind of setups, or we're just not locking things out to 5v5 teams, because it's like, damn, it's like, what am I going to do with the Hu Yang Cron where it's like, well, half of this stuff doesn't exist in 5v5 or 3v3. It's like, yeah, I'm so excited. Anyway,
so happy.
That whole set I can bugger off for all I care. It's not the only thing I found nice about it. Was the protection rolls were much higher on that set. So I was able to get a couple of decent plus 25% turn meter crons with like 160% protection on them.
Yeah, that is good.
So I was like, well, JML's gonna love this.
He will.
But that's about the only thing I'm gonna hunt for beyond, as long as there's a 25% speed or turn meter cron with protection as it. That's the only reason I'm gonna ever hunt a perfect cron, and by that I mean just like try to get all protection on it, is because of that. That's the only reason why I'll do it, is because like JML's gonna love this. Outside of that, I'm not gonna hunt a protection up cron with all health and try to slap it on, Glat or somebody else. Like, I don't care. Like they've just really kind of neutered the point of caring on a lot of these teams. And I mean, it's what it is. We're kind of at the point where, why does it matter to keep investing in these things? I mean, I think we're literally at the point now where if CG wants people to continue to invest at a decent clip on Datacrons, let us start using them everywhere. Start using them in territory battles. Start using them in conquest, for all I care. There's no reason to invest in them if you don't take PvP seriously.
Pretty much, yeah.
And at this point, if I'm shelling out the cash, why not let me use them in every game mode? Territory battles with these crons, I'm gonna have a great time pressing auto for 3 months. I'm gonna love it.
Let us use Datacrons in Conquest. There we go. Completely trivialized Conquest. That'll be great.
I mean, we're already headed that way if we ever get to the part where Relic Delta gets added to it.
No. I mean,
here's the funny part.
They're not doing that.
Yeah, you put out a video today about them changing how the era levels work in Galactic Challenges.
Yeah.
And how we'll get rewarded with that. But nobody cares about the fact that we haven't added the era or the Relic Delta to Conquest yet. They're like, oh, well, we just could forget about that thing they told us we were going to do.
Yeah.
That would be
honestly,
be
like it would. To be honest, my main account will be really happy about that. My alt account would be happy about that. I use my main team for blitzing through Conquest on my alt account is a Padawan Obi-Wan team under Keller and Beck, and I've got Master Qui-Gon Jinn and Padawan Obi-Wan at Relic 9. I'm like, yes, bring on the Delta. I would love to just AoE with power and clear the entire field. That would be happy. I would like that. I mean, he already pretty much does that anyway.
But yeah.
Well, he's got the Omicron on, so like he has a chance of just taking a bonus turn whenever the enemy does anything. So I'm like, give it to me.
That's fair. Yeah. Well, and again, then there's just, there needs to be some reason to go back to farming them, because this new pace is going to be unsustainable as it was the last time we had this pace. I get that they're dumbing them down and they're simplifying Datacrons to being you only need like a top 10 kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
You don't really need 30 anymore, and so I'm kind of okay with that. But like, I would rather them do like 4, maybe like 3 level 9 FDCs and 1 level 15 every Datacron set, and then we need like 5 crons from the set to actually farm, and then call that a day. Because like otherwise, I don't know what we're doing with them. You know, nobody wants to invest in the Datacrons because they're RNG dependent. You know, I'd rather just invest into FDCs and skip the Datacrons because.
I mean, I get that, and I kind of understand that. I really don't want us to have 7 FDCs every time they come out now, because it's just such a lot, man.
That's only going to be because they air the anniversary. I mean, to think otherwise is pretty foolhardy, in my opinion, because they clearly put one out for every team.
Yeah.
But this new team only has 2 teams.
Yep.
Literally, Cassian creates his own team with everybody from the era. And the new ISB faction is, you know, it picks up Krennic and IPD in 5s, but outside of that, it's a 3v3 team. So it's like, yeah, you could maybe find a way to split Krennic into a 3v3 team. But outside of that, you know, it's like you might be able to give us an FDC for the 3v3s, but like there's no way we're getting more than 4 FDCs around that next era. No. It just seems highly improbable.
Yeah.
That we would find a way to give us 7 again.
Shall we?
But it's CG, so you never know.
I would talk about that change to the era challenges, but I did a video on that, and I'm sure people can watch that. But
well, they should go watch it, because you'll get a better breakdown, and B, you'll have somebody giving you the information that cares.
Well, yeah, exactly. So I think instead maybe we jump over to Tribe Talks questions.
Yeah,
I think we've got a couple in there. So
you're gonna find it hard for me to care about stuff that people don't care about. It's like, oh no, they took away my 10 era currency, the travesty.
I'll paraphrase Carthrick. Wail harder. Sucks to be poor. Don't talk to me, peasant.
Yeah, there you go. Those are the key catchphrases.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I think we should next year in LA, when we do a live Tribe Talks in front of a live studio audience of me, you, and maybe one other person that turns up. We could have coasters with those phrases printed on,
coasters.
And we could
I was thinking
give them
like
out.
Full-blown T-shirts.
T-shirts.
Give them
glasses.
away. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, sorry. You're talking about giving stuff away.
Yeah, give
wearing
them
for the episode.
Oh no, that's entirely different. We should totally be getting T-shirts printed for that specific event.
Wail harder, you peasants.
You filthy casual. Yes. So, with that facetiousness out of the way, or is it? We'll go on to Tribe Talks questions. So, first question comes from Sascha. And Sascha looks like a new joiner to the Tribe Talks Discord. Thank you kindly for joining. He says, hey, with the Leviathan bundles, creators are theorizing about a new fleet. Ever since the Hondo Pyrex came out and the Colosseum as a way to release new characters, I thought, how do we get new ships? What are your thoughts on an announced era PvP giving out another currency that lets you buy ship shards like the Razor Crest in the fleet store? Could add incentive for whales to spend on era units to win in PvP to get the new fleet first. God, I hope not.
Pass.
Oh, God. Carthrick's like, yes.
Part 2 is way better. Part 2 is way better. No. I don't want it in PvP. I do not ever in my life want to tie a PvP game mode to unlocking a character.
Agreed.
No.
Yeah.
I want to throw my wallet at a digital screen and click unlock for an easy payment of $99.99 over the next 6 months. Okay? That's what I want in a mobile game. I do not want to just spend.
You just want to try, guys. All right.
Yeah, I don't. Well, that's the point of spending money. Money eliminates effort. Why would I spend money and have effort? That sounds
I
so
pay
ludicrous.
for an easy life, guys. All right,
Yeah.
that's what it is. You know,
I wanted to struggle.
Oh my God! So this is kind of 2 questions wrapped up into one, really, isn't it? Like one is People, I've seen people doing the rounds. I think people are reading a little bit too much into it with the Levy Lightspeed bundles because, let's be real, guys, we have Lightspeed bundles for everything. It's just, we've done Executor, we've done Profundity. Leviathan was going to be one of the next Lightspeed bundles we get. You will get one, and don't be surprised when it goes towards getting things like Balin, getting things like GL Ahsoka Tano, and eventually getting things like Pirate King Hondo. These Lightspeed bundles will come in time. That being said, I don't think they shouldn't do a new fleet. I absolutely do, and I want it yesterday, preferably. If I could have it yesterday, that would be great. But yeah, I don't think necessarily the Lightspeed bundle for Leviathan is an indicator that we're getting a new fleet. I won't see that. I won't believe it until we see CG release a new fleet.
Yeah. Until I see a ship marquee anywhere in this game, I won't believe a new fleet is on the horizon. Because we kind of understand what the new fleet meta is. What they want to do is they want, of course, conquest units to be they want to have a conquest ship as part of the fleet because that's how they justify the power level, but also add a layer of exclusivity to it so that players that are active are the ones that are actually getting access to it and not a bunch of people that can just show up and put their wallets behind something. Now, they do want both in time, but when you're trying to push a new fleet meta and incentivize people to spend, there needs to be a certain level of advantage that they get out of that. And even the Leviathan bundle still require 7-star Darth Revan and Amalgus to
and Malak. I think.
And Malak, yeah.
Yeah.
To get access to it. So it's like, yeah, it's easier to do those things, but good luck doing it in the next 2 weeks if your progress bar is 0.
Yeah.
Or if you just spend the teeth.
If you don't have the get currency to get those remaining shards for Malak, like, wait,
yeah.
You just kind of fucked. Like you can't you can't just get it. It's something stupid like 20,000 get currency, isn't it, to go from 5-star to 7-star?
Oh, something like that. Yeah, it's a lot.
It was a long time ago. I can't remember. Although I'll probably be going through it on my alt account at some point in the near future. Yeah, so that's kind of weird, right? That's kind of weird for that particular bundle. It's kind of shot itself in the foot. Maybe they'll do a Lightspeed token for Malak that you can buy. Who knows? Because we've seen stuff. We've seen it for Cam, haven't we? We've seen it for
it's a get one currency, which is really hard to come by for the accounts.
You get less of it.
Skip past it.
Yeah. It was 68,000. Holy crap! I was way off.
It's 5,700 per 15. So divide that. So it's 380 get one currency per shard.
And you need 185. Yeah,
185. So that's 70,300.
God, that's rough. Yeah. Good luck. You're not getting it if you don't have 7-star Malak already. Kick rocks.
Yeah.
You won't be able to buy that bundle.
I'd be happy to verify that, but the bundle's not available in the store yet, and I can only see it as a giftable bundle. I can't see it for purchase.
Oh,
sorry,
my God. Yeah,
can't help you.
That's painful. That's painful.
But the reality is that until the odds of them releasing a ship era is zero. Because we've talked about this before. It requires a brand new reinventing of their Coliseum event, which isn't going to go over well. I think it's too young now to be like, let's make it with ships. Like, I feel like you're just going to piss more people off when they have shitty ships and can't even like battle a normal fight because, God forbid the era level sucks for them or whatever else.
But they'd also have to do all of the animations. Like every day when you go into Coliseum, just clicking on the button, you see like the day's unit, the day's boss. That doesn't work with ships, right? They would have to create entirely new graphics and animations for every new capital ship that you've got to go over and face.
Welcome to Squadron Arena, where we take the battle to the stars.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense in my head. So I feel like it has to be Conquest and potentially the return of Galactic Chases. That's the only thing that makes sense to me.
I mean, they just do them like they did with the last Galactic Chase, where they just made the drop rate really shitty, and so it's like it still costs you like the better part of like 20,000 crystals to get it.
Yay, joy! I wouldn't
Which,
mind
I mean,
that if the event didn't run for like a week and ran for like a month instead.
Yeah,
So you just like slowly burn it.
slowly burn the. Well, I mean, the cost is associated with how many refreshes you have to do. But anyways, the right idea, yeah. But I mean, that's the way I would see them releasing the next fleet is through Galactic Chases, and then like they'll bring a conquest unit. I would be wildly unsurprised if Satele becomes the pilot of the Jedi ship from SWTOR, and that becomes the next conquest unit, and then they do an Old Republic fleet to kind of mirror the Leviathan, and then have a joke about
we've got the Ebon Hawk. We've got the we have one Old Republic ship already.
Yeah,
that saves them one ship.
Only 4 more to go. Let's go. The conquest ship is now number 2. You only got to release 3 ships, so let's get after it, boys. We can pull something out of our butt.
You can have one Galactic Chase a month for a quarter, and then you're done.
Yeah, then your new fleet, you're good to go. Well, I mean, but real talk though, like that's something they could easily do, because it wouldn't impact the era system, and it could still give you a long lead on the release time. But anyways, I digress from that. The short of it is that until CG releases anything in a new ship capacity that is going to stand out on its own, they're not trying to build up another fleet like they have been for the last 2 years. Just assume we're stuck with Leviathan until this game shuts off permanently, because it's all speculation at that junction.
Yeah, we're all speculating.
but they keep painting themselves into corners on fleets, and so it's like, what do? Do you have a fleet now that just becomes immune to like being destroyed? Like what's the play? What's the option?
Yeah.
So do we get the Endar Spire with Bastila as the pilot, and we get the R10er for unlock? And she's just like, I use legendary battle meditation, and I turn off your ultimate. You can never access it.
That is one of the only things. Well, it's not one of the only things. That is definitely they either need to do a fleet that is so freaking strong that it kills the enemy fleet too quickly that they can't get to ultimate, or you just have a mechanic that shuts off the enemy's ultimate. It's just like that's it. It's just like no ult for you, or does whatever it does increases the cooldowns of the ultimate, and then it would actually be okay, because things like Profundity could still work against it because it generates download, which activates the ultimate, but it works well against things like Leviathan and things like Executor. I don't know.
Well, but then the thing is though, is that of course they're going to want that shit to be dominant, so they're not going to want anything to hardly counter it. So it's
of course. Yeah, it'll be absolutely dominant at first, but then, 6 months later, they'll release a lifter unit for the Profundity that for some reason pisses all over the Neos fleet.
And then somehow the Leviathan will get buffed again, and then it won't be good. Yeah.
And the Chimera will get nerfed, and everything will be right in the world.
Yep.
We've nailed the formula. We're good at this. So we've gone a really roundabout way with Sastra's question here, but yes, new era PvP mode is coming out. No, I don't think they do a new store with new currency. I think they want to throw all their eggs in one basket. Maybe down the line we see new materials enter into the era store. Maybe. I do think eventually that's where we'll get the Relic 11 mats. I think it just makes sense. I feel like it'll operate kind of like the featured raid type thing, the era store. So like once Relic 11 comes out, Relic 10 mats will be able to move over to the Jawa Scavenger and all become really, really cheap inside of the era store, and then we'll have Relic 11 mats there. But I don't think we'll do character unlocks with them. They don't even want to do it for TB and raids anymore. Like, so
can we, for the love of God, get a TB character? Like, I don't know.
Please.
I don't care what planet it's on. Make it Hoth for all I care. Give me something cool. I don't care. I want something else to do in TB. Now, granted, I know Hoth is ridiculous for lower guilds, but still,
it is. Yeah.
That's my point. I
give
just want something else. Give me a Mandalorian to change out OG Bo off the Mandalorian team and give me something that kind of makes that team usable outside of the one game mode.
I was gonna play off the half and be like, give us an eviscerated Tauntaun. That you can hide. You can hide when a unit gets defeated. They go into hibernation inside of its stomach and come out turn later fully healed.
There you go.
perfect rebel lifter for CLS.
There you go. Yep. It's one ability, lukewarm.
Yep. Perfect. Thank you, Sasha. Appreciate you. The next question comes from Silent Static. And he says, hey, Tribe, 2 questions. Can you rank which new holotable farmable characters to 7-star first, as they come out to be farmable? And then also, thoughts on the Dad Bod Boba team. Is he worth gearing if you have enough for 7 stars with the new unit? Yeah, do you wanna lead on this one, Karth? What do you think? Priority list for the new units?
For the new ones, I would say I got to pull them back up because I got to remember which ones are which. I mean, clearly, like the ones that are like, if we're not looking at Maul, let's say, because clearly, if you don't have 7-star units here, you don't have 7-star Maul. I would say in my head that the top of the list are probably going to be Darth Vader, Asajj, and Inquisitor Barriss, which of course the last 3 marquees to release. So you're going to be shipment farming them if anything, while you're going down that rabbit hole of trying to get them. Because I think Inquisitor Barriss is going to be fun in 5v5 with some flexibility in 3v3, and the different crons she has access to right now is kind of going to be interesting to see how that plays out, especially with like Seer Ufu or whatever else. Darth Vader's Duel's End is just, of course, a very powerful character. FTC makes him annoying. Asajj is going to add a lot of oomph to the Boba team, but until we have an actual area to do practical testing and to see what it is, because there's 2 problems we're having right now with this set, right? One, we have barely had any time to meaningfully test the viability of these new squads and their different game modes. This will be our first 5v5. 3v3 was kind of like, yeah, whatever.
And I didn't lock in with mine, so
yeah. And so it's hard to say with those ones where that's going to land for a lot of things. I had some fun with Stormtrooper Luke, Princess Leia, and Han in a support cron because, there's just tons of regeneration on the team. So I had some fun with it. I got some holds, but I think it was just the rule of new. People didn't know what they used against it. And they didn't want to overcommit. We don't really have a good testing yet. So it's hard to say if they're going to be worth the invest because we don't know what they're going to punch up against. And then how much that's going to be cron dependent and all those other factors that go in with it. But I feel like for a lot of people, those 3 characters, Asajj, Barriss, and Vader, are going to be the most usable for a lot of players. I think Yoda and Chewie's fun, but if you don't have the Wookiee investment, you can just forget about it because it doesn't go anywhere else. He has the tags to be more applicable. He does not have the kit to be more applicable. He's very Wookiee dependent, very Tarful oriented.
And it feels like Tarful's just kind of garbage.
Unless you have him at Relic 9, yeah, it's not great.
I'm a peasant boy at Relic 7 with my Tarful.
Yeah. But IG-90 only works in 5v5 and TW, and he's a TW Omicron, so it's not really changing the Afra team per se. The Cron will change it a little bit, but even then, it's not like it's lifting it to new heights of things that we weren't anticipating it to do already. It's just kind of more solidifying the things Afra can beat by kind of codifying, hey, she's untargetable. Hey, we're putting a forced taunt on our stupid summon so that you can't just immediately wreck Afra square one, those kinds of things. But again, if you don't have the investment, it's not that big. It's not that helpful. And then Stormtrooper Luke, while fun, I don't know what he does yet because
not a clue.
It's fun to use him with Leia, but with Leia, you have to either drop out the characters that he directly supports with his uniques, or you got to drop out R2 and Drogon, or one of those characters, which I don't know if you'd want to do that.
I don't think so.
I don't think he's strong enough to replace Drogon or R2. And then, of course, he forces Leia to taunt, which is problematic for how she gains ultimate. So,
Yeah.
it goes back and forth. There might be some usefulness there. I think I'm going to try Luke under Rey for a little bit just to kind of see what happens
Yeah, why
on
not? Give it a try.
being a nuisance. But I would say that, as they become farmable, my focus would be Barriss, Asajj, and Vader. But if you don't have Boba, then it really feels like Asajj can sit off on the side because she is very much lifting up that one team. But without Boba, I don't think she's really doing enough to make the team make sense. And I might be wrong on that. I just haven't had a chance to really play around with the bounty hunters too much on that.
Even I feel kind of bad with, like, my Boba Fett is Relic 7 and so is my Fennec. And I am like, I really want to like R8, R9 these units because it feels like they're just going to, it feels like they're going to suck. R7 just doesn't hit like it used to. That's what I genuinely
Relic
feel.
Relic Delta really screws with that because it's 10% down, 10% up on the spread. But then, like, higher, especially for us, higher Relic Lord Vaders are becoming more and more common. Yep. Once you get to Relic Delta 3 versus a GL, it's like, hey man, good luck. And that's the problem, is like you're relying on one Omicron to make this team work. It's a good Omicron on Ventress, but like they clearly were kind of like, well, this will be a fun team in GAC, but we're really all about lifting up Boba in territory wars. So that's kind of the only reason why I have a reservation with Asajj, is like, if you're not TW oriented, you're kind of putting an investment in something that doesn't really matter for a lot of players. It could be fun. She might have some plug and play viability in other bounty hunter teams, but it's hard to say. Yeah.
I doubt she does enough to lift it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Zuckuss is actually decent. Like a Zuckuss lead, Forlom, is actually pretty good. It is genuinely actually pretty good, but I don't know if that's enough to warrant, going all in on her.
No, so I would say out of the 6 marquees, if I had to pick 2, it would be Barriss and Darth Vader, because they're the ones that you can kind of just drop into the teams that already exist and immediately see changes or improvements.
Yeah.
In their functionality. The other ones, it's like, do you have the team? Are you willing to make the high relic investment? Are you willing to put the Omicrons, the Zetas, and good modding? Because like that's the biggest thing for the Vader or the Boba team, is like you got to be moving pretty quick. Like you can't be a slump, especially when fighting GLs. Like you can't have them lap you twice or take 3 turns to every one of yours. So it's like you got to be pushing it. And so it's like it's the other teams just become a lot of an investment struggle. So it's like, if you want to get a lot of bang for your buck out of your account, Vader and Barriss will be a lot of fun. Outside of that, the rest of it's kind of like, if you have the team, if you want to do a passion project for Wookiees, go nuts. I think Yoda and Chewie will be fun in 5s, but I don't think they're going to be like, oh my God, it requires Obi-Wan Kenobi to beat it. Like, I don't think we're going to get there.
I think that it might just be me, but it feels like a lot of these teams, they very deliberately try to throw in anti-GL clauses to make sure that they don't top
every single one of them.
Which is a really weird stance to take all of a sudden.
Well, I mean, I get why they're doing it, though. They're bringing a lot of power to the team. What they're basically trying to do is kiss the glass, right? They want a Datacron to kick the team over the edge on being on what it can be, but clearly having a glass ceiling as to, hey, we realize that this might be usable in other team comps with like Leia or Rey or whatever. And so we're trying to minimize your use with them with Galactic Legends, as well as you're, using them against Galactic Legends, which I'm okay with, because that's kind of what sucks about the game in a lot of fronts with the power creep, is that there are too many teams that just roll GLs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, for just a marquee, I'm fine with them having that power cap. Now with Vader, I'm a little upset by it because he's not just a marquee, he's an elite marquee or a legendary marquee or whatever you want to call that. That one I'm a little saddened by the fact that they did cap his power.
He's a marquee with sprinkles on. That's what he is.
Yeah, but then they gave him an FDC that was like, yeah, we capped his power, but then we're like, but then we turned it back on. And so it's like, this is what he would have been like if we didn't have these anti-GL parts of his kit.
This is what you could have had.
Yeah.
It is. I did a video, but I doubt you watched it. But Vader can absolutely fuck Spider-Maul. Granted, this was outside of GAC, but his AoE does so much damage when there's no GL there. I did an AoE and I hit Spider-Maul for 800,000. And I was like, oh, he still tanked it because he's Spider-Maul. But, like, it one-shot everybody else. Did, like, 500k damage to Starkiller and to Stranger and to Barris and to OG Cal. They're just, like, a one-shot on the board. Granted, no Omicron's active, and obviously Starkiller gives them a shitload of extra health and protection and all this crap. But it was still kind of fun. It was still kind of fun.
Yeah. The biggest thing with that, of course, is just going to be the team's ability to move. I think if you get enough speed with Vader, because the team has no way to prevent turn meter gains, I'm pretty confident on that one. I think you might be able to just maybe.
Well, they attack out of turn all the time as well, and that will trigger bonus turns from Vader. So
yeah, and again, that's exactly my point though, of like the Vader and Starkiller and Maul and everything. It's like we get these really cool teams, and then it's like, yeah, but you also gave everybody the counter to this team. So it's like Starkiller attacks on a turn all the time because Stranger gets alert and will attack on a turn and has counter chance and will attack on a turn. It's like, okay, so they attack on a turn, and Vader shows, well, I just delete the team.
I get real mad, y'all.
Yeah, so it's like, so it's like,
and it's
okay,
like, Starkiller makes you guys immune to stun. Doesn't matter. Get fractured.
Yeah, exactly.
Two of you.
So it's like there's just there's like this guilt back and forth in the team where my brain just like, okay, so it's like, why even leave the Stranger on defense? Why leave Darth Vader on defense? Like, it's going to be really hard to
it's going to be a weird world.
Because like there's so many things that are good on offense. But anyways, we have.
We're not good at questions, are we?
We are good. We just got really distracted by the squirrels.
Yeah, we're ADHDing it hard this time. So Smasher Bob says, which are you more looking forward to, Ahsoka Season 2 or Maul Shadow Lord? I mean, this is pretty easy.
Shadow Lord?
Yeah.
I don't mind Ahsoka Season 2, but of course the problem with Ahsoka is that I think I will be more excited for Ahsoka Season 2 in the context of what we learned from the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Mm-hmm. That might give me some more hype for Ahsoka Season 2 over Maul Shadow Lord. Because with Ahsoka Season 2, I pretty much kind of already know where we're going, and I don't really care because we're kind of stuck in with her story. It's like there's a certain time point where we kind of have to like let the 7, 8, and 9 trilogy take place.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I'm just like, oh man, this is
like
gonna be so shitty.
We know that at some point the First Order rises and Thrawn just disappears. So something has to happen there. For me, it's like Maul is dropping in April, I want to say. And I think Ahsoka Season 2 isn't out until next year. It's hard for me to be excited for something that's coming in a year's time. Like, genuinely. Like, we talk about it in this game. We don't get excited for units we can't play for 3 months. We can't see it. We're not going to see anything from Ahsoka for a year. So I'm like, give me Maul. Like, absolutely. Let's do it. I'll totally get more excited about something that I can watch in 6 weeks rather than 6 months.
Maul is literally 6 weeks, almost exact. So that's where I'm at too. Like Ahsoka Season 2 is fine, but it'll be better in the context of us knowing what comes next. And for me, I'm actually interested to see how Maul winds up on Malachor. Now, granted, they may not answer that in this first season. They might do a couple seasons to get there, which I'm fine with either outcome. But Maul's story, I'm actually interested to see how he gets to the part where we get reintroduced to him in Rebels. Ahsoka, I really don't care. Like they whatever she's gonna do, she either has to leave the galaxy again to do Ahsoka things, or
she's going on sabbatical.
or we're gonna start overriding what was in 7, 8, and 9, and it's just like either which way, I don't think I'm gonna like what they end up doing. So it's like I feel like it's better for me to just go, well, we'll just let it happen, and then we'll have zero expectations, which means we might be pleasantly surprised.
She's going to go to the world between worlds, and she's just going to create a multiverse event, and just 7, 8, 9 didn't happen, y'all. We're doing something new. Because they have had a change of head now, and Dave Filoni has taken the wheel, so he's going to make everything about Ahsoka and his babies.
Well, I mean, he already was. All that's really changing is all that's really changing with this is that Dave Filoni, I believe, has more control over the overarching, like what's happening on all fronts versus just what he's dealing with. Because I think he was already like just under Kathleen Kennedy prior to this anyways.
Saucy.
But the funny part is that Kathleen's not like fired. She's just going to be a producer on her own show.
Yep.
So it's like, they're not even getting rid of her 100%, which I mean, again, her not being in that role, I'm okay with, but at the same time, I don't know that I've been massively a fan of everything Dave Filoni's touched either. So
no, I don't think everything he does turns to gold.
No,
but like back on that, honestly, I'm quite excited to watch Mando and Grogu. I'll watch that film. I saw the last trailer.
Well, it looks
okay.
It looks like they're actually going back to the freaking like season 1, 2 vibes.
The core of the character.
Yeah, being a bounty hunter.
Did you? I mean, I'm sure you watched the trailer, but there's that scene where he comes through the door and he uses the flamethrower, he burns the floor, and then has he got like a little rocket dash that he does to the side and shoots the guy? It looks really sick. It's like, Bam, looking like he's a badass again. Let's go.
Exactly. That's where I've been stuck for so long is like they really bastardized the premise of the show in seasons 3 and 4 and the Book of Boba Fett, where it's like, guys, he went from being a nobody to like a very important character. It's like, I get that this is a very Star Wars thing to do, but like that's where the burnout is. It's like you're making everybody's moment a heroic, epic thing, and it's just like, it's Star Wars. Clearly that's not possible because you have too many heroes in a world of which, like, hey man, if you can like 1v 1,000 the Empire, why wasn't the rebellion just paying you to fight at Hoth by yourself?
Yeah.
Like
one man army.
Real talk. It's like, so it's like I want it to be more practical, and that's what I missed from like the early episodes of Mandalorian, where it was like the missions they were doing felt practical, the stakes felt realistic. That's the fun part of walking away from the Jedi heroes or the Sith villains or Sith heroes themselves is because you do have that, magic force button where, well, problem solved because force powers.
Yeah.
Like, it's like they don't
Space
have
wizards.
that. They have to rely on decent writing and probable events to occur than just going like, space wizard.
Well, I mean, you say that, but we do have Grogu.
I know.
We still got an element, but this space wizard is small, cute, and green. So I mean, I suppose that makes more sense.
Well, and in the other side of this space wizard tends to cause more problems than he solves.
Yeah, he just wants to have a snack. Let's be real. He wants to eat
endearing.
those cookies.
Yeah, it's an endearing problem to have, and so it's like I think we can overlook it more when he saves the day by doing Grogu things.
He doesn't say anything. He just sort of goes, ah. You're like, okay, great. Good talk,
Give me
Grogu.
frog eggs. Okay, thanks. Bye.
And then he looks, is slightly slow in the head sometimes when you just, You're like, okay,
Yeah.
great. Maybe he needs food. Maybe he needs to be burped. I don't know. Anyway, Darth Jar Jar, Padawan Sidious says, are any of the Ommis for Rebels from the Anniversary Lightspeed tokens worth getting? Princess Leia, Admiral Akbar for GAC, or even a niche team like Farmboy Luke, Omicron in territory? Don't ask Karth with this question. All right?
The answer is no.
Oh, wow. Okay, ask Karth this question.
So there was a point in time with Farm Boy Luke and a certain Datacron set where the Omicron was fun to have, because he would just, under Leia, was just clapping cheeks. You know, like turn 3, like 500k draw bead shots, you know, just boop boop boop. Like he made Drogon look useless on the team.
Drogon
But
who?
it was, yeah, exactly. But it was a very niche thing, only really supported by the Ami and the Datacron.
Yeah.
Akbar is still useless to this day. Akbar was the original one. No. Yeah, I think Akbar came first, and then
Akbar was the first.
Leia.
Yeah, I think so.
And they still can't make that team work. It still doesn't do the thing or do anything fun. And I don't think you're gonna even want to try to use Akbar and new Luke and Princess Leia and Stormtrooper Luke in a team, because there's just not enough going on there to really make that team do anything effective. You're better off just kind of consolidating. Princess Leia kind of has a option with her Omicron to be viable again, because with Luke giving her 100% chance to do all the things, but that triggering consistently is good. Like, you know, I'm trying to remember what her
Whenever Leia attacks, she has a 55% chance to grant all Rebel allies retribution for 2 turns, and a 55% chance to grant all Rebel allies tenacity up for 2 turns, and all other Rebel allies recover 5% health and protection. There you go.
Yes.
Stuff.
But when you are looking at her with Luke, the new Luke,
yeah, changes
that
it to
becomes
100%.
100% chance.
Yeah.
But then you look at her basic hitting 3 times, because they're all 100% chance. She gets 30% turn meter from every time she attacks, because she's guaranteed to attack 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
So there are some things that you can exploit with her Omicron and her kit now with Stormtrooper Luke. But is it gonna be mind-shattering good? No, it's not very powerful of an Omicron. It was designed to be used under Admiral Akbar, and that has had, like, the only time the Admiral Akbar Ami has done anything worth a damn is because it's bugged. That's it.
As is often the case, but bugs become features in this game. So
there is a bug between Admiral Akbar and 3PO and Chewie, where the tenacity up that he starts with, 3PO ignores and thinks that Akbar's tenacity is what it would be with tenacity up applied. And then he shares a third of that to the team.
Yeah. It's always Chewie that does this weird shit.
Yeah.
Because he did something similar with Old Ben in GL Leia's squad, right?
Yeah. So so that's been the problem, is that you can when you could not land a debuff on them unless it was unresistible, there was some funny things that occurred, but that's been about the only time. So if you're going to use new new Stormtrooper Luke with Leia, the Omicron isn't completely useless, but without Stormtrooper Luke there, that Omicron is just trash. There's no reason to invest in it at all, because there's no mileage out of it.
Yeah. I feel I have all the new stuff, but my Princess Leia is still Relic 6. I don't feel like, because I'm about to R9 the new units because we've got the new Light Liberation era battle starting tomorrow. I need to take them from R7 to R9. I want to run it first at R7 to make video content and then do the final tier, right? I don't think I've got the relic mats to take her up to a useful relic level and then also throw an Omicron on her in the hope that maybe she does something. So I'm not gonna bother. So it's a good question though.
Yeah.
Right.
Are you low key hoping that CG forgets to add Relic 10 Maul as a requirement and we can do the event without it?
100%, but I already have the R10 Maul, so
I
it
know,
won't.
but like for me, my alt didn't. I skipped it because I couldn't squeeze out the resources, but I could squeeze out 3 Relic 9s if I needed to. So
I mean,
I'm sitting there going like, I wonder if CG catches this one, because if they don't, I'm gonna totally use it.
or the other side of it is they forget to not allow us to use Maul, and you can take Maul in. And
Oh, that'd be great, because the other event sucked without. If you didn't have Maul there, you wouldn't have a team.
yeah, it's fun. And this, I feel like this trio of units as well is a lot shitter. Like Stormtrooper Luke with Barriss and with Choda doesn't feel like it's going to do a whole lot. No synergy there.
No.
No
Can
damage.
we add the Coliseum modifier back, please? Can we please add the one where they all share tags again?
And because
Okay,
you don't have Maul either to carry you, it feels like this one's going to suck. I'll be honest.
Well, that or it's going to be stupid easy, and we'll just walk right through it.
Maybe they'll just tune it to be really fucking easy. But hey, all right. Next question is Symmetry. He says, overall, how do you feel about the game in its current state, and how likely do you think that we see any or somewhat substantial changes to the era system in the next era? Ooh, yeah, it's a good question.
Oh God.
Yeah. Okay, I'm personally like not super happy about some of the changes. I'm still happy to keep playing. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to disappear anywhere. I'm a content creator for this game. I still enjoy it. I don't like all the decisions that they make. I'm a little bit more hopeful that we'll see some changes for the next era, only because the next era drops on May the 4th. May the 4th is usually where we get big announcements, tying in most likely to Mando and Grogu film, probably going to be new GL. Like, that to me feels like if we're going to see any changes or any new things introduced, it would be then. So maybe. I didn't think we'd get any changes for this era. If there were, I thought it would be incredibly minor cosmetic changes to the era system, because there's just no time. CG hasn't had the time to take on feedback and implement changes.
And half the previous era was conducted over a freaking holiday where they took 6 weeks off.
Yeah.
So, I can't imagine that there was a lot of things going to be ready to go by this first era, which is what I assumed as well. And for me, as long as they keep adding features to it, I'll be relatively okay with it. I just know for me, I know where my limits are and what I want to spend. And I know that, there's just not a huge reason to worry about it. They're going to need, if CG wants players to keep spending beyond that era level that you need to unlock the characters, they need to put a massive incentive out there to get people to spend on that, because there's no reason now to go beyond 85 that I can come up with.
No.
But overall, I think people do need to remember that the era system overall is a massive net positive to players. There are parts that suck, and unfortunately we have to deal with them every day. But getting characters to gear 12 for free, massive win for a lot of players that don't have to worry about it. Yeah, it sucks that you can't use the characters in the game for 3 months, but the majority
1800
of
Karatech is still really, really nice.
But not even that. Most people weren't going to use them anyways, because they don't have the team that goes with it. So it's like you're talking about a very small subset of people that could have utilized those things right away. And then on top of all that, we're still getting, the event gives, if you can get to 5-star, which is a relatively cheap barrier, relatively. That's that for a lot of people, a lot of accounts that are still making progress. Those Lightspeed tokens are huge for progress.
They're really good.
If you're getting 5 Lightspeed tokens that you can use anywhere, they were R6 tokens, right?
Yep, R6. On my alt account, I used them on Wampa and Hermit Yoda. I just skipped the entirety of that star grind.
That's
good.
Huge.
It's
huge for people.
At Relic 6, it immediately is all the requirements for Jedi Knight Luke, because you need them at Relic 5 for that event. So I was just like, fuck it, I'll just do it on there.
There are a lot of positives with it. It's just we have so much time to focus on the negatives and analyze them and tear them apart because we got nothing to do for 12 weeks at a time. Besides the occasional conquest character to have like, oh, look at what Satil does. Nothing. Anyways, next one.
She's too slow to do anything. Dead.
Yeah, she doesn't have a force taunt. She can't protect her team. There's so many problems. Please release another Old Republic character. Okay, thank you. Bye. Anyways, the short of it is that the error system isn't bad. I think we just have it has a sour taste in its mouth from going from how it was to how it is, and then that there is not much to do now. I think give them another 6 months, give them another year, that'll change. We'll be happier with it. But our community has been known to be one thing very consistently, and that's toxic and negative. And that's two things, but that's, I just give you guys something more to gripe on. But it'll be fine. I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal the long way down, the longer we go down the road. But
yeah.
We'll see. But for now, I'm not unhappy. I don't like the price tag, but I don't have to engage with that last $700 right now. So big old scoops of fuck them.
Yeah, I mean that's it's telling where Carth's position is like, give me a reason to go to 95, please. I would like to spend more money, but it's just not worth it. Like I'm give me something. If it gives me Relic 9 units, I'll be happy.
I'm willing to spend the money. That's not the question. The question is the value is so awful for someone in my position where it's like, why would I spend $700 additional dollars to go from Relic 2 to Relic 6?
Yeah,
and
which is free for you.
And then which is free. And then in addition to that, I get 4,000 or approximately 5,000 more era currency, which is not even like a full 10, not even full 10, which is not even half of one Relic 10. Like
not even half of one Relic 10 that you don't need.
Yeah, I've got more.
It just doesn't make sense.
Right now.
Yeah, I think I've still got like, I think I've got 2 in the bank, and I've just R10'd Maul, and that means over the course of these era battles, I'm gonna get another 3 R10s in the bank. Like I'm just kind of like, this is why I don't care about being top 10. I'm just like, I don't even have the resources to Relic 10. The server motors are not even the bottleneck. It's still signal data. It's still good at keypads. It's just a weird place to be. It's like, why would I be so excited about trying to farm for Relic 10 when it's too hard to invest and the difficulty is not the server motors, it's everything else. It's a weird fucking place to be. Really weird place to be. Okay, so thank you, Symmetry. Good question. Next question comes from Bubba Joe. Greetings, leaders of the Scribe Tribe. Please point the direction we should follow to achieve your greatness. Mostly credit card debt. What would be a better Omicron to activate? Luminara or Gungan Phalanx? And why does Carth have both?
Luminara, because you can use it more than just the game mode that doesn't exist anymore.
one is quite literally a paperweight, and it won't hold anything down, so it's a useless paperweight.
Yeah, honest to God, I understand why they wrote the protection up clause on Lumi's particular buff for her heal over time, because they didn't want to use BJ with JMK. And after that's been released and there has been so much power creep out of the game, I'm sitting back and looking at CG like, was it really worth the extra text to be like, no, it cannot be used with protection up?
Yeah.
It's like, why? Like JMK is desperate for a lifter after this point in time. Like he needs something that allows Cat to, leap and insta-kill through insta-kill immunity and can be revived through immunity. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, that team is just like a joke comparatively to where it was when it first launched. And so, Lumi would be, if you had to choose, I'd pick Lumi. The point of our success is super amounts of credit card debt. Mortgage fraud is another good one.
Yes. And
stealing identities.
Risky.
Drinking was really a great way to make sure you spend all the money you need to on this game.
Yeah, and that's it's really useful because if you drink enough of it, you forget about the money that you spent, and you only realize when your credit card bounces. You know, it's like,
No,
shit.
well, that's actually a net positive because then you can't you don't have to spend that last little bit. But the other part of it that's
deniability.
Kind of, yeah, the other part of it that's nice when you're drinking is that when you wake up, the hangover is the worst part of it. You know, you're not really worried about all the credit card debt that you just accrued. You're worried about the massive hangover.
Like, how do I make my head stop hurting?
Yeah.
Rather than why do I owe Amex $700?
Ooh, I wish it was just $700.
Sorry, 7,000 bucks. All right.
Go.
Trodat asks, how do we replace Jedi Knight Revan in a JML team with Cal, Jedi Knight Luke, and Hermit Yoda when Satele drops in about 5 weeks?
You don't, for starters. I cannot see a reason why, if you needed Revan in a JML team, why you would split that to run Satele. Because and hear me out on this, in 5v5, I don't see the team doing anything. It's not moving the needle enough. That Old Republic team still needs additional characters to do anything important. Okay, so if that's the case, why take Jedi Knight Revan there in the first place? Second of all, the only other place it might have some usefulness is 3v3. Which, if that's the case, you don't really need him in with Luke anyways, so who cares? You know, you kind of do, but I mean, you can get away with using OG Luke and Jedi Master Luke and call it a day with Jedi Knight Cal. So
yeah,
I don't see a reason to split it unless you desperately, like, you're just going to use Jedi Master Luke and Hermit Yoda to go, or, you know, to go beat up on Qui-Gon. Like, I don't see a reason to split it. I like Satele as a character, but she's too slow. She doesn't have a force taunt. She doesn't have a way to really protect her allies right now that makes her viable. And there might be another Old Republic Jedi that comes to the game where we recognize that, you know, mission being on the team makes zero sense.
Yeah.
And they fill that in, but you know, clearly
it really does
have an answer beyond that.
It really does feel like there's supposed to be something else that goes with that team, because it just does not feel like a complete cohesive team right now. And even if they do throw an extra unit, it's like they'd have to make sure that that's the unit that goes in 3v3, because it's just it doesn't do enough. It doesn't do enough. She needs a pre-taunt at the very least, like an undispellable pre-taunt.
And she needs an attacker. Revan is not going to cut it, and Bastila a support and Jolie's a healer. Like, that team needs damage. Like, even if they could fix the problem of the pre-taunt, what else are they going to do? Like, oh, look at us take our 5 turns and then get wrecked by the opposing team.
Well, I think in GAC, don't they, when they attack out a turn, they deal damage based on her max protection. So there is that, and I think that will do significant damage.
Sure.
But she needs to taunt in order to do that.
Yeah, which also requires her to, I don't know, make sure the team doesn't get, like, locked up by a daze or something.
Yeah.
And so it's like, but there's not, besides Revan's mass assist, you know, you get 1 assist from Bastila, you get 1 assist from Jolie. Revan has a mass assist. You don't get to use Revan's unique ability, which would have been a nice way to allow more assisting on the team. And so, like, there's just too much the team is going to have to fight upstream against to maybe beat Malgus, right? Like, that's that's the thing, is like, we're trying really hard, to beat a B tier team, and like, why invest in that?
But we know for sure though that when she drops, she's going to have a broken Datacron. Like, she's going to come live, they'll be like, Satele Datacron, and it's going to be nightmarish.
They're going to add a new status effect for her where they it's protection up. No, it's bonus protection, but actually based on your protection pool. Right. So we'll have to find a dumb name to call it something, because it's, you know, I don't know why they called it bonus protection. They made it based on their max health.
Over protection, ultra shields. Again, I don't know. Think of a vaguely Star Wars sounding name.
Yeah. But like, that's the only way I can see that coming to anything useful, because otherwise, man, I don't understand what their play is here.
Yeah. I'm sure when she first launches she'll have a Datacron that's going to make her really, really good for a little bit, and then we'll forget about her. Unless they bring out additional units. I just don't see. But I could be completely wrong. Maybe we do just need to see her in game. All right, next question comes from Darth Solaire. Hi Solaire, how are you? Do you think this era of characters will be tied into the next raid? Not personally.
God,
could be.
My brain says yes, because we have so much Empire era content coming. You know, Mando and Grogu is going to be rooted in the Empire. Of course, the Aftermath, but Imperial Remnant still kind of vibe. You know, Maul Shadow Lords is going to be back to the beginning of the Empire era, in that transition time, kind of like with the Bad Batch series. So part of my brain goes like, you know, we got a lot of Empire on deck. I could see them just saying screw it and mushing it all together, because the reality is after the era that starts in May is over, that next era either has to be a GL in theory, should be pushing for a GL at that junction. So it's like, okay, so if they want the new GL to be part of the new raid, they could push the raid out a little bit longer, and we could have more of the Sith one, not Sith, but the Order 66. But outside of that, man, what do you like? If they don't require those, like, there's going to be too much overlap. And so I feel like they're going to go down that road of like, oh, Rebel fighters, and they'll be the faction you get the free team out of. And then we'll do ISB, and then these new Imperial Remnant, and, you know, Mandalorian, whatever, and call it a day. And we'll go escape a prison or some bullshit. I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows? I that's the only reason actually why I'm not sleeping on the Cassian unit on my alternate account, is I am a little worried about it being a raid requirement.
Okay. Yeah, that's a fair shout. Mace was a requirement, right? So
yeah, Mace was a requirement. So that's my only real kind of concern on that front, is that it is. But I really would hope that CG learned their lesson from Bad Batch and didn't be shitty and not tell us that they weren't going to be used for anything, and then 3 months later require them for something.
I mean, that's the only reason I think they won't be, is because I would have thought that CG would have had the wherewithal to be like, by the way, these units, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, may or may not be required in an upcoming future raid. Now, am I giving them too much credit? I don't know, maybe, but I'd like to think that that's not going to be the case. I do think that May should see that.
Yeah, it could be that they think the raid is far enough out that Cassian would return by the time that they launched it, or that you could have a usable team without Cassian, and then 3 months into it, Cassian would come back and you could make it work.
Yeah.
But for the love of God, man, if it's going to be required, like, just say it. Like, you don't have to tell me what the raid is. Just say, hey, the new ISB and the new Rebel Fighter team are going to be required for the next raid, which will be releasing in the next 6 months. I don't give a care how far out the timeline is. Just don't hide it from players. That's the last thing we need is a surprise.
For me, the only silver lining for me personally is with these era battles, like, all these marquees are going to Relic 9. So when the raid drops, I'm like, if it requires new units, I should be good to go day one.
And then everyone's going to be complaining in your comment section that, where's the free-to-play guide? All this is Relic 9.
That's why I have my alt account now. The alt account is to pander to those people. Yeah.
Yeah, but now you're going to have to be careful on progressing them, because what happens if you take them all to Relic 9 for the era battle, and then 4 months later they're needed for the raid, and you can't do the previous tiers because now Relic Delta's in the raid and you're going to be too powerful.
No, well, I've got the alt account, and then he's not investing. He's only going to like 4 or 5 stars. So
yeah,
that's okay. People will still complain. They'll be like, how dare you have a 5-star Cassian?
You can't do the middle ground. That's all I'm saying.
No,
You're
yeah,
gonna be either massively overpowered or you're gonna be too weak. And
I need to.
where's my Relic 7 runs? That's like
I,
the Bad Batch all over again, right? Where Bad Batch at
oh
the highest
god.
tier was a cakewalk. Everything below that sucked after they fixed
I
it.
mean,
So,
Bad Batch
yeah,
was a
let's-
complete like clusterfuck when they released that because it had the level 9 mechanics working for it, and everybody was like, "Yeah, Bad Batch, you're fine." And then they fixed it, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, Bad Batch, you're fucking dog water."
And that's why we took them all to Relic 9 anyways.
I did the worst thing possible. I took them all to Relic 8 and then left them.
Ugh. That sucks.
And that's why I never used Bad Batch in the raid.
once the new Pirates came out, and I had both Pirates teams, I dropped Bad Batch on my alternate account. I'm like, I'm never doing this ever again.
I just run 4 teams now. I'm like, fuck this. I'll get my max personal score on 4 teams and I'll call it a day. Like, I'm not running a 5th team for no point. Like,
that's very much fair.
Although that being said, you know, with the way that CG has been pushing things, with Relic 10 requirements for era battles, with the, you know, Journey Guide unit, Relic 9 requirements for that top tier, I wouldn't be surprised if we actually do see a Relic 10 tier come to the raid. There's got to be a reason. There's got to be a reason.
Honestly, I would expect Relic 10 to come to the tier to come to the next raid, as well as a new reward box that comes with it. And if they're smart, I would just have the reward box either just straight up give relic mats or just, you know, copious amounts of air currency.
Yes, yeah. Give me signal data.
Like, that new box is going to have to be very high because you're going to need like 650 million score to even get people to make more than one Relic 10 team. So you'd have to have that box pretty high up there to make it a Relic 10 tier and be worth anybody's time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird old thing. It's a weird old thing. But yeah, who knows? I'll be excited to go to a next raid, but I'm still kind of hoping it's a while out yet. All right, Wayne asks, can you rank Luthen's Ommis in the context of Cassian? Yes, Dreams with Ghosts. That's the one you want. I don't think that changes with Cassian coming to the game. I still think Dreams with Ghosts is gonna trump the others. Let me get Luthen up, because that's the one that gives you all the fucking stats, right? Like,
no.
Yeah, Dreams with Ghosts gives you 30% max health, mastery, and 20 speed, and bonus protection.
Oh yeah. Sorry,
like,
yeah, that part.
That trumps everything else that he does, right? Luthen his basic gains 25 speed up to 100 until the end of the encounter, and the target enemy has their defense reduced by 30% until Luthen does another basic. Or if the rebel commander is already present, all allies gain crit damage up for 2 turns. Mon Mothma and other rebel fighters gain 30% offense and are immune to turn meter reduction till the next turn. Yeah,
it's very easy. Dreams with Ghosts.
Yes.
What do I sacrifice? Tools of my enemy. There you go. That's the ranking.
I agree.
Unique, first special, basic. That's it. And the basic you can really skip. Now, granted, that might be different with how this plays out with the new mechanics and the new character. That you might want the basic Omicron, but the basic can be skipped pretty much because the only time you ever really get to use it is in a Momo team, and basically after this, you'll never use Luthen with the Momo team ever again. So why bother?
Yeah.
At all caring about that. The part that I find funny though with this particular one is that with Cassian in the leadership position, he gets defaulted to the curator. You cannot get the Axis bonus, which is funny because then the expendable asset on the summons doesn't occur, which means he's kind of just a chunky summons. So he's going to be like a pseudo tank for the team, which is kind of makes sense because they don't have one, but
yeah, it makes sense.
I mean, they do and they don't, right? Because Vel is technically the tank, but like an off tank kind of thing.
Yeah, she gets the resilient defense one, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she gets a ton of it, man. Like
every basic, right?
Yeah. Dude, like that and then the mechanics between her and what's her nuts.
Starts with a Z.
Cinta. No, it starts
Vel.
with a C.
Oh.
No, Vel and Cinta.
Oh yeah. Vel is the one you're talking about, right?
Yeah, but she gets Cinta will give her resilient defense based on the two being together.
Yeah.
And so anyways, there's just it's gonna be hard to get around her, but like without the summon, that's I guess my point is the summons doesn't hit hard anymore because it's not gaining that massive offensive boost.
Yeah.
So it's like what is he doing? Like what's the point of it now if we're not gonna hit hard?
Yeah.
Like I guess the only advantage, of course, is the rally and the dispel on basic, but like it doesn't assist all the time. So it's not like a command turret where you can get it to attack all the time. And so, anyways, it's just there's a lot of things about it where I'm kind of curious. But again, with the mechanics that Cassian brings and the rest of the team brings, I'm overthinking a small niche of the team. So it's fine.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, I agree with the order of the Om Nom Nomies, which is great. And I look forward to playing the team in 3 months. I'm sure it'll be fine.
I mean, you'll play it in 10 weeks.
Yeah. Just a blink and it'll be there. I'm sure.
I mean, it may not necessarily say your name on the account, but
there is that. Bubba Joe asks, how happy are you both that the red pip is not begging you to click on the new marquee, in this case Vel, for 2 days before that?
Extremely.
We talked about the simming on the marquee being the best quality of life thing, but I actually think I was wrong. I think it might actually be the fact that there's no red pip, no pointless red pip for 2 days, because that shit was dumb.
Yeah,
that shit was dumb.
I agree. Very, very dumb. Very dumb. But I can live. I can live with it. It just annoys my, the tism part of me. But
yeah, it tickles the tism in the wrong way, right?
Yeah. Outside of that, I am happy that it's gone. I do appreciate the sim button more though, because I did hate going in and having to do it. I can't tell you how many times I still played it though, because my autopilot took over. It was like, just press,
dude,
battle, auto.
that second one that gives you like 2 of useless gear. I used to skip that one every time. I was just like, on my main account, I was like, fuck that. I don't care about getting 2 carbantes and 2 stun guns and 2 stun cuffs. I'm just like, fucking, it's not worth the 30 seconds of my time to go into battle.
It's very important to collect those now that you have like 7,000 of them and can't spend them anymore because you get all your characters, your 12 for free.
Exactly.
You definitely need that.
But now I do it. Thanks to that sim button, I do it every time. Although the funny thing is on the alt account, because I am getting some of the shards, I do actually need to use those marquee battles to go into battle to like do the abilities and win battles with like Claire Marquee and stuff. So it's kind of weird. It's like, oh, thank you for the sim button, but I can't use it on my alt account. I still have to do it. Fun. Yeah. All right, Karth, we managed to finish up. We finished up nice and cleanly there.
We did finish. We still went over our 2 hours, but that's
a me problem, I think, or a you problem, or maybe it's an us problem. I'm not sure. Could be a bit of both. A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Nifty. So thank you everybody in the chat, and thank you for those of you wonderful people listening on home on Apple's podcasting and Spotify podcasting, and I'll see you all. Oh, I think we're off next week. Is that right, Karth, or is it week after next?
I should be here until I want to say it's the 15th that I'm gone. So we should be here for the next 2 weeks, and then the 15th I'm out of town.
You can listen to more 2-hour podcasts of me and Karth for the next 2 weeks, guys. And be good. Leave us a comment if you're listening on a podcast hosting website. So that we can have something to chat about, maybe give the podcast a review so that we get pushed out wider, because I need more people listening to my voice. Any final words, Karth?
No, not for right now. Otherwise, we'll be here for another hour of conversation.
This is a good point. Yeah, let's wrap it up.
We're already slowing down for the exit. We should just take it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I will be off in La La Land for another 45 minutes, and we'll hit that 3-hour mark.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Good night, everybody. Big love.